So the Premier League is coming close to an end. We are just 3 match days away from things getting crazy. So this time around we will be speaking about and predicting the Game Week 35 matches. Now the standout games being Manchester United versus Liverpool and Aston Villa versus Tottenham. So 2 pretty big matches in terms of like battles. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please do drop a like if you do. Let's get started with Leeds United versus Burnley. This should be an interesting game. So let's get started with Leeds. They have been doing fairly decent this season. Recently they have been doing actually better than usual. Leeds are basically safe from relegation, which is huge. Like last game they played Bournemouth and they drew 2-2, which is quite a solid result at the Vitality Stadium. The Longstaff scoring 97th minute to secure the point for them, so that's huge. Well, on to Burnley. They've been struggling quite a bit this season. I believe they are basically relegated. Like their form has been absolutely terrible recently. They have not gotten a single point in around like 4 matches. So the last game that they played was against Man City and they lost 1-0. They had chances to potentially equalize it, but it just did not happen. But it's a shame, but what can you do? They're going to be going back down. They have been pretty poor this season. But yeah, my prediction is going to be a 2-0 win for Leeds United. Moving on to Brentford versus West Ham. This has potential to be a very, very good game. So let's get started with Brentford. I mean, they have been doing pretty well this season, pushing for European football, which is very impressive. Huge credit to Keith Andrews. He has done a fantastic job at Brentford. He's really taken them from people expecting them to get relegated to them fighting for a European spot. That's quite crazy. They have been struggling to get like the wins recently though. They have been getting mainly draws like 0-0, 2-2. But yeah, last game they played Manchester United and they lost 2-1, which is unfortunate. But they were pushing at the end of the game and they almost equalized. Now on to West Ham. They've been doing not the best this season. Recently their form has been getting better and better, which is super good in a very, very important time as they are fighting to stay out of the relegation zone. As we speak, they are out of the relegation zone right now. But last game they played Everton, and honestly I thought Everton would win that match. But West Ham ended up winning 2-1 very late on thanks to Wilson scoring in the 97th minute, I believe it was. Or I think it was 92nd minute, but he moved them into 17th place. They were in the relegation zone and Tottenham were above them and they just swapped places. Crazy. But my prediction for this match is going to be a 1-1 draw. Moving on to Wolves versus Sunderland. This game could be quite interesting. So let's get started with Wolves. They have not been the best this season. As we all know, they are officially relegated, which is tough because they could put up pretty good performances and they have been putting up pretty decent performances recently. They've been getting some decent results as well, but it was just not enough. The last game they played Tottenham and they lost 1-0. They had a few chances, they just did not manage to take them. Onto Sunderland, they have been doing fairly decent this season. I would say they are one of the most underrated teams. In terms of form, they've been a little bit on and off. Like last game they played Nottingham Forest and they got smoked 5-0. They were like 4-0 down within 37 minutes, which is insane. But this happened at the Stadium of Light, which they lost like 2 or 3 games in, which is insane. Losing 5-0 is crazy. But yeah, my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Sunderland. Moving on to Newcastle versus Brighton. This game is going to be a very, very good one. So let's get started with Newcastle. They have been doing not the best this season. They have had a little bit of a downfall this season, I would say, sitting in 14th place, which was very unexpected. Their form has been on and off in recent weeks as well. I mean, last game Newcastle lost to Arsenal 1-0. They grew into the game. I feel like the second half they were doing a lot better, and late into the match they were pushing for that equalizer. It just did not happen. I think this team just lacks that proper scoring number 9 like Isak that went to Liverpool. So That's a huge mess, and they haven't been able to replace him. But onto Brighton, they've been doing very well this season. They've been playing some very nice football. They are pushing for a European spot as well, which is absolutely huge for them. They are sitting in 6th place at the moment, I think, which puts them in the Europa League. And a player that really stands out for me is Mitoma. His dribbling is just incredibly good. Every single time you see this guy take on a player, he beats them every single time. He's really good at maneuvering through players as well. Just a joy to watch, honestly. But my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Brighton. Moving on to Arsenal versus Fulham. This should be a fairly good game. Honestly, let's get started with Arsenal. They've been doing pretty well this season, although their form has not been too good recently, which has brought Man City back into the title race, and Arsenal still remain top of the league, but being 1 game ahead of Man City. Now, last game Arsenal played Newcastle and they beat them 1-0. Eze scored an incredible goal. It was off a set piece. Eze, edge of the box, first time shot, curls it into the top left corner. It was a amazing goal. I do believe our attack needs to improve massively, especially going into a Champions League semi-final and into the last 3 weeks of the Premier League. So we really need to turn up and score more goals. But on to Fulham, they have been doing pretty well this season. I do believe they are also pushing for a European spot. They've actually been playing pretty well as of recent. They're getting results. Last game they played Aston Villa and they beat them 1-0, which is crazy, all thanks to Ryan Sessegnon with a goal just before halftime. Now they're just 2 points off of European spots, so yet again it's going to be tough playing at the Emirates. I mean, Arsenal have only lost maybe 3 games this season at the Emirates. But yeah, my prediction for this match is going to be a 2-1 win for Arsenal. Moving on to Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace, we have a pretty decent game on our hands. So let's get started with Bournemouth. They have been doing quite well this season. Another club who is pushing for European football. I mean, every single club from 6th to around 12th place, they're all pushing for European football. It's literally a gap of 4 points or something. It's insane. But yeah, at the moment, Bournemouth, they are sitting in a Conference League spot, which is solid. Their form has been pretty good for them recently. Last game, they played Leeds United and they drew 2-2. They lost the 3 points in the last minute of the game as Leeds scored 97th minute to just grab a point from Bournemouth. But onto Crystal Palace, they have not been doing exactly the best this season. In terms of their recent results, they have been a little bit on and off, wins and losses, but currently they're sitting in 13th place in the league. So last game they played Liverpool and they lost 3-1. The only goal scorer in that match was actually, I think his name is Munoz in that match, the right back. But yeah, this game is going to be yet another tough one for Crystal Palace because Bournemouth are in some pretty good form. But my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Bournemouth. Moving on to Manchester United versus Liverpool. This game is going to be super good. So whoever wins this match takes the 3rd spot on goal difference, basically. So let's get started with Manchester United. They've been doing very well this season. Ever since Carrick came in, they have been on absolute fire. Last game they played Brentford and they won 2-1. Casemiro scoring and Sesko scoring his 10th goal of the season. He's been performing very well in 2026, but Bruno brought his assist count up to 19, so he needs 1 more assist to equal the Premier League assist record. So I think he could probably get 2 assists in the span of 3 or 4 matches that remain. And I mean, Amorim was playing him in a deeper role and he was benching Kobe Mainoo. What was he doing? But yeah, United are in some very good form right now coming into this match, so Liverpool are gonna have some real fight. While onto Liverpool, they've been doing quite alright this season. It has been, I think, one of their worst seasons in recent times, but they have managed to stay inside the top 4, which is crazy. Last game they played Crystal Palace, as I mentioned before, they won 3-1. Isak's first game back, by the way, and he managed to score a great goal. I mean, it was kind of a deflection off the defender, but his first touch off of that, he controlled it well and he just shot it into the goal. Fantastic goal, fair play. But Vert's getting on the score sheet as well, so huge positives for Liverpool, and they're finding their form late into the season. But my prediction is going to be a 2-2 draw between the two. Moving on to Aston Villa versus Tottenham. This game could potentially be quite tight, so let's get started with Aston Villa. They've been doing quite alright this season. Recently, their form has been a little bit on and off, but good news, they're pushing for Champions League football. I mean, that's huge. If they win the Europa League though, another spot could open up in the Premier League, or I believe the Champions League, or the Europa League, which would be absolutely insane. We would have like what, 8 spots for European football in the Premier League. Let me know in the comments down below if I'm right about that or if I'm wrong. But yeah, last game they played Fulham and they lost 1-0. Was a poor performance overall from Villa, just having 1 shot on target. That's crazy because they were performing very well earlier in the season, but they've kind of dropped off recently. But Watkins has not scored in the league. I don't even remember the last time he scored in the Premier League. He's been pretty poor in terms of goal scoring form in the league. On to Tottenham, they have been struggling this season massively. They find themselves in a relegation battle. I never thought this would happen for Tottenham. These remaining match days are super important for them because they are just 2 points off of West Ham, so they must get results in all of the remaining matches. Xavi Simons, bad news for Tottenham. He tore his ACL, so he's going to be out for the rest of the season. Solanke went off injured once again. Another important player has just gotten injured, so De Zerbi is going to need a very solid game plan in this match. But my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Aston Villa. Moving on to Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. This game is going to be very interesting, so let's get started with Chelsea. They have been doing not too well this season. There is potential that they can miss out on Europe. They are only 1 point off of a European spot, but the last game they played Brighton and they got cooked 3-0, having no shots on target that whole entire game. That's wild. Because of that performance, Liam Ross Sr., he got sacked. With Joao Pedro being injured, Delap is probably their only option up front, and yeah, Chelsea fans do not rate him. Premier League fans do not rate him. Chelsea, you guys are basically stuck with him for now. But on to Nottingham Forest. They've been doing not the best this season. Their form has most definitely been getting better recently. I do think it is due to Vitor Pereira coming in. He has made them a better side. Like last game they played Sunderland and they won 5-0, which was totally unexpected, which is unreal. Morgan Gibbs-White has 13 goals this season. I believe that's the most from a Englishman this season. He has really been balling out this season. Their defense is super compact and strong now under Vitor Pereira, so I genuinely do think they have a chance to at least get a point in this match. So my prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw between the two. So Everton versus Manchester City. This game could be quite a tight match as well, so let's get started with Everton. They've been doing quite alright this season. Like David Moyes, he's made them very well balanced, which puts them into 11th place right now. And once again, another team fighting for European football as well. How many teams are fighting for European football? But yeah, last game they played West Ham and they lost 2-1. That was actually quite disappointing. I expected Everton to win that match, but they did not. But I'm sure they will need to bounce back to really push for a European spot, and they're gonna have to do it against Man City. But once again, another player that really stands out for me from this Everton side, Iliman Ndiaye. He's such a special player, incredible dribbler. Surely he goes to a top club in the summer. Onto Man City, they've been doing quite well this season. It has been a little bit of a underwhelming season for them, but they find themselves in another title race with Arsenal. Like their form has been very good in recent weeks. Last game they played Burnley and they won 1-0, but not the best performance from them, but they got the result, which is all that matters. at this stage in the season. But Haaland being the difference maker, he remains the top goal scorer in the Premier League. But yeah, Cherky though, I think he's probably been arguably the signing of this season. He's really just revived that attack because they were struggling to score goals. And I mean, Semenyo comes in, Cherky comes in, and they get the goals needed. They were only relying on Haaland to score goals. I mean, now the goals are coming from all over the pitch, which is good. Semenyo, Guehi, and Cherky have been huge difference makers. But my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Man City. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below your predictions for these matches, and don't forget to subscribe as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.